Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. We got a nice Ford F450. How many of those do you see driving around? Yeah, don't see many, do you? Who and what guy would buy it 2 times, right? Within like 2 months time frame. Hey, it's the Ice Age Morning Conversations, and brr, it's actually kind of cold up here. I dressed a little lighter this morning, and yeah, questioning that, but I think the way the sun feels, it's gonna get a little warmer, but we'll make it all work. But yeah, good Lord, it's December 1st. Just beyond believable time. You know, as you get older, no, come on back here. Come on back. Come on, let's go, get in the barn. Get in the barn. Come on, let's go. Get in the barn. Yeah, what's that all about? Anybody put that 2 and 2 together on that yet? Where's the black truck? Huh. I might have a surprise for you this week, just so you know. But anyways, time. I mean, I'm not lying. As I get older in life, time. I mean, it goes so fast. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. I mean, the days just go by. It's so true. As you get older in life, life is but a vapor. It really is. I had a few people reach out and on my followers saying, yeah, man, it's a beautiful bike. It really is. Even part of me is like, don't sell it. Just keep it, whatever, right? I mean, I'm on the fence. Do I trade it for a bigger Scout? A bigger Indian? I don't know. I just got mixed feelings. I mean, yay. All right, we got to go to work. I mean, this is one of those mornings where, Jesus Christ. The time clock. I mean, it's just... time flies by, and come on, folks, let's go. But anyways, so what are we talking about today, right? I mean, you know, I know, and it's interesting. I see some of my postings, and it's cold up here. Yeah, not too bad up top here. No, it's a little chilly up here. The heater here will do it, though. But, you know, I post these morning conversations. And yeah, you know, it's not the big hit of the day because a lot of people just the YouTube, you know, on my channel, people like the car stuff and truck stuff. When it gets into these conversations, the majority of people are just like, I don't want to listen to that guy talk, and that's fine because I just like to talk. Have you figured that out yet? Yeah, I'm sure you have. So. And, you know, and what's the message, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, all these conversations that I make, you know, what's the message? What's the goal, right? And that's what I got to thinking to myself last night was, what's the message? And so I thought, you know what? We'll make the theme today the message. What's the message? And one reason I really thought this, believe it or not, one of my customers has been texting me. And this person has asked me why I haven't done something for them. And they're kind of now like, wow, I reached out to you 2 weeks ago. Well, no, they reached out to me a week ago, actually. But we always embellish things. That's just who we are. We always make things double, triple, quadruple, 100% worse than it actually is. You ever notice that when you get into arguments and you get into differences of opinions? You know, we all magnify everything 10 times. So the whole point is, I got a message from one of the customers, and unbeknownst to me, I've been going to a different location and thinking we're taking care of a problem, which really to us wasn't even really much of a problem, but there's a little problem. But no, it's a whole different location. It's a newer customer of mine. And so this morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. I'm like, you have to reference where your location is. You just tell us your name. We're confused. So the message to me was never completed, meaning that person just took assumptions of who they are and where they are for me to take care of a business problem. Wow. So I got to think to myself this morning, the message. Last night, I was thinking about, you know, today, should we talk about being scared? I mean, Jesus Christ. And I thought, that's kind of a lousy word. Do we talk about, you know, do you have... I just kind of thought to myself, what would be a great way to present information this morning? So I came to closure this morning after that message came in that, yeah, let's talk about the message. I mean, what's the message? And I think to myself, oh my gosh, even for me, if you listened to me a year ago, if you'd have seen me doing these videos a year ago, then let's check on the coffee. And to be diplomatic, I'm not going to have you watch me drink my coffee. The life of the dogs, right? The good life, you get right. So I just thought to myself, for me, even a year ago, I was telling people that I think this year is going to be the first quarter, you're going to see a little slowdown. Second quarter, definitely slow down. Third quarter, for sure, a slowdown. Fourth quarter will be disaster. I was telling people that and telling people that we'll probably see a 20K down. Wow, how wrong am I? I mean, I am so wrong in my calculations and predictions of what would play out in the country. And even to me, I'm like, well, but I'm not totally wrong, but yeah, not real correct, because what's going on? I mean, the message, and it's just it's incredible. I have been watching different YouTubers that it's just incredible. The rhetoric day in, day out is total catastrophe. Total catastrophe. Go to iAllegedly. There's a guy out there out of California named Dan, and his account, his YouTube channel is iAllegedly. And, you know, I think the guy's a good guy, and I've watched this guy now for close to 2 years. And all I've ever heard from this gentleman is the dire straits of everything going bust beyond bust. The worst economic times ever this country's seen. I'm not embellishing. His theme of his channel every day is how everything's going to go to the ground, and you better get cash. You better pay off all your debts, not have any debt. You better have everything stocked up in your house for food supplies. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So his message on his YouTube channel, and don't get me wrong, I'm not here to be critical of iAllegedly. I'm just sharing information. That's all I'm doing. I am not taking sides. I think Dan's a good guy. I mean, sincerely, I subscribe to his channel. But at the same time, I think, wow, his message day in, day out is the dire straits of things are coming to an end. The housing industry, the stock market, the list goes on and on and on. Then, just here recently, I subscribed to this guy out of Florida, Michael Bjorn or something, that's got a YouTube channel, that he's a real estate guy. He's a really cool guy. He's down there in Miami, and he talks about the real estate market. And even him, just a few weeks ago, was just, talking the incredible hardships in the real estate market and blah, blah, blah. Oh, my gosh. And so the message you get through, and there's other guys out there, too. Mark Siegel, I think it's Mark Siegel, who was the big tall actor that had like black hair, and he was like the brass guy, the real, kind of like, I'm going to just knock you out. There's a guy that's bald that has a YouTube channel, and the message is nothing but you're going to lose everything. The country's going to the ground, and the list goes on and on and on. And these people even get up to the point where they'll go to the Walmart store and walk around and tell you, since there's nobody in the aisle, that Walmart's going down. You have another person go to Home Depot because not everybody's in the Christmas Black Friday area to buy everything. That Home Depot's doomed. I mean, so the message that you get from these other YouTubers that I get is that the dire straits is here, that the economic woes are here, that you better be prepared for incredibly financial hardships. Okay, now let's go to the general media in the news, and I'm reading now that they're saying third quarter was very healthy. Third quarter was a very healthy, very good time for his country. In fact, it outdid expectations so good, the stock market is way up again by like 700 points. I mean, it's stock market is like close to 35K, working its way back up to maybe 38, 39K. Wow. That was like the prime time of the stock market. Does it hit 40K? Wow. So the message from the media now, and even the point that Jerome Powell, the Fed, is saying, you know what? We really feel like we've gotten this thing under control, even though here this last meeting, he spoke about how they didn't think they had it under control, but now he's saying they do have it under control, and they're not going to have to raise interest rates much anymore, which that just blew the whole stock market up, because the continuation of raising rates to calm down the inflation is under control. Wow. I mean, the message. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, can anybody honestly on my channel, reach out to me and say, hey, the message is clear to me and I can see it bright as day, or no, the message is so confusing that it's the market manipulation. It's the government trying to run the market. I mean, here's the big railway that's on the doorstep of striking, and this administration apparently is going to just hammer it down, or they can't strike because it's going to be a total economy collapse fiasco if the railroads strike. So the message right now is railroads cannot strike, and this sitting powers to be are not going to let them strike. They have no option. Go to work. Suck it up, Buttercup. So the message. So I think to myself, even for me, trying to get a message out that seems to be common sense, seems to radiate. I have a YouTube channel with me having just, information to come and listen to me, and we can both kind of look at each other and go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or we both look at each other and go, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. What's going on? So for me, yesterday, hearing about the third quarter predictions, and now here's another thing. Down in Florida, housing market's not getting impacted at all. Housing market, the continual rise of values of homes is continuing. It's not going down by any means. Housing sales in Florida are not by any means taking a hit. So the higher interest rates is not changing that the thought process that people are going to go home. So I just thought to myself, the message. What is the message? And another part of me says, I think that we just need all to realize that you just have to pull up your britches and pay more for everything. You're just going to have to work harder, and that's the reality. So just quit the crying that you want everything to be cheap again, and you don't really want to have to work as hard, and the list goes on and on and on. But then at the same time, I think, but yet you read about the list of companies are laying people off. So how can people make more money if companies are cutting back? But yet the Fed is telling everybody that things are pretty much back in line and things are kosher, and the inflation is kind of back in check, while the banking industry has changed something to like the $1 million mortgage. The $1 million mortgages are now happening. The people are financing and have $1 million mortgages. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just beyond believable. Where is the money coming from? I mean, sincerely, where is all the wealth coming from? But then at the same time, I know for a fact where I live, I'm not embellishing here. If you live in Loudoun County, Virginia, and you make $100,000 a year, you are middle to lower class. You're basically lower class. You will not survive in this county that type of money. You won't, because $100,000 a year is $8,000 a month. 8 times 12 is $96,000. Okay, so we'll call it 82, 8,400, 8,500, 8350 a month. You're going to bring home what? Maybe $6,000, maybe in this county, in this where I live. Well, you're going to be paying $3,000 a month just to rent a house. You're going to be paying $2,000 a month just to live in an apartment. So at $3,000 a month, that I haven't even factored any insurance. I haven't even factored food, car payments, transportation, anything, blah 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 blah, healthcare, blah 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 blah. List goes on and on and on. You're broker than broke. You have no money. And $3,000 a month, have you factored what that number is for a home? That's going to be a $500,000 home at best, but a $500,000 home in Loudoun County, Virginia, that's just a little dinky old house. That ain't much of anything. I mean, you think I'm embellishing on that? Yeah, good luck. Right. Yeah, you have to spend $1 million to get a decent home and property. $700. I mean, not saying that you can't live in a small home. I'm just saying that, wow, the message. So the message now is that maybe things aren't that bad. And even for me, I wish no financial havoc or harm onto anybody. But you have to say to yourself, wow, we've had the most expensive energy in modern times, and we've had the most expensive food in modern times. We have the most expensive cars in modern times. We have the most expensive houses in modern times. But yet, at the end of the day, this is not having much of an impact on people. Wow. I mean, the message. Once again, what is the message? What's the underlying message when the Fed said this past year he's going to raise interest rates to calm down the inflation? I mean, is anybody seeing a real huge change in pricing where they live? I mean, the gas. I said the gas, and I got that right. I said gas would be $3 a gallon by the end of the summer, going into the fall, and yeah, we had some bumps there. But where are we now? You know, there's $3 gas is there. The $2.50 gas is out there now. Yes, it is. Diesel fuel and heating oil. That's a whole other little ball game that's being played on us. But yeah, but meanwhile, has anybody seen anything like a lot less expensive? And for the record, has anybody here got making tons more money? Meaning, so you go pre-pandemic. Let's just say you made $100,000 a year, and now it's after the pandemic, and now you're making $130,000 a year or $150,000 a year. I mean, have you seen your income like rise by 10%, 20%, 30% to offset all this inflation? Yeah, I mean, just wow. So what you're feeling from me this morning, the message. What is the message? What is the underlying message of what's going on in this country? And for me, even for me, it's kind of like it just doesn't make any sense. Because on one hand, I hear people are struggling incredibly. But on the other hand, some people are making more money and buying more stuff in their whole lifetime. Yeah, don't talk about me. I mean, I'm just a car addict guy. I'm just crazy. Yeah, crazier than crazy. How long do all the cars last, right? And when do I start showing you selling half the cars? Yeah, I go through this cycle all the time. So if anybody's thinking, yeah, right, I'm just a crazy man. So back to the message. Yeah, and so then for me as an individual, this just kind of, it irks me, okay? It just really irks me. Because my daughter's in college, and a lot of people send their kids off to college, and I just think, wow, in today's times, how does your kid come back? I've heard these stories. I mean, I've heard the stories of people send their kids off to college, and they come back a totally different person. And I'm not talking about growing up, becoming self-sufficient. I'm talking about their views on life. It's radical, just for my daughter. And that was one reason I told my wife, it's like, I am not excited about sending my kid off to college away. She can. If she has a passion to go away and do this, she doesn't. She has too many toys at home. Why would you want to leave me? I have people all the time ask me to adopt them. To hang out and drive motorcycles and cars, trucks. Yeah, come on. Yeah, can you adopt me? Yeah, I'll help you out keep those cars, keeping the miles going on them and make sure they run right. Yeah, I'll wash it for you. Right. So my daughter, what's the incentive? I mean, it's a known fact that if you're a parent, if you make life at home misery, your kid will want to go off to college or military. They'll want to get the heck out of the house as fast as possible. If you're my kid and you're having the fun you've had with me, why the heck do you want to leave, right? I get all that. That's what I talk about. In my upbringing, my parents are so cool that they had to move out. We wouldn't leave. I mean, to a degree. My brother and sister left, but then we were all back together. There's a lot to that, but this is no lie. My mom and dad, I think it was 83. I think it was late 82. They moved out. The 4 kids wouldn't leave. And I'm the youngest. Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyways, the college. So here's the thing. So my daughter now comes home, and it gets political. But here's the thing. And it's the worst. It is the worst of the worst because they have a question and answer in our English class, and the question, and it's an it. The teacher's an it. Okay, so I mean that's what it is, and so this person wants them to answer how the George Floyd and the policeman situation was. They basically the English teacher wanted each student to say, do you think George Floyd was wrong? Was he right? Was the police officer wrong? Was he right? So now it's the perception of what media do you listen to? And so now she has to, try to come to closure what seemed right versus wrong, right? But at the same time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that George Floyd thing just created so much hate, so much protest, so much defund the police. It's kind of like, why are you rehashing this? Why do you want to continue to rehash this? Really, just as we all know, I mean, to me, both were at fault, and I'm not here supporting what happened by the police, the way I look at life is this way. If you're an individual that's doing drugs and doing bad things, one day you meet your fate. If you're a police officer and you're doing bad things, one day you meet your fate. So my way I look at life is an energy thing. Two people met that obviously weren't balanced people. Those two people met. Yes. And so between the two of them, they created their own fate. And once again, I'm not here, making excuses. I'm just sharing. In life's travels, you learn. You've witnessed people that don't do good to others. Eventually it just plays out. And what I'm saying by that is George Floyd did not do good to others. And the police officer, I don't know the whole track record, but it's obvious he didn't do good for others as well. Who knows? But the whole point is, I truly believe in life. It's just, if you're old enough in life, you witness this stuff. How long can one person go around and do bad things to others before they meet that same type of person? That's kind of the way I look at it, and not justifying, anything there. Not going to go political and all this other stuff. But here's the thing: it's my daughter in school that's trying to present what? What's the message? I mean, sincerely, what is the message? Is that course trying to say to my daughter that police are bad people? Is the message to my daughter saying that black people are targeted? Is the message to my daughter that it's okay to be an individual that has a lawless life, and then it's a fault of a person that tries to have law of life? I mean, what's the message? And that's what goes on in these universities, I think, more than ever today, is, what's the underlying message and goal? And just like one of my forum members in a car thing this morning did a great job. He said, go in the morning, wake up and watch Fox News, and then watch CNN, and then watch like MSNBC. He said, watch all three networks in the morning, and what is the message from each one? And it's incredible. One message from one network is the shambles the country's in. The next message from another network is the country's doing great. Another message from another network is they're celebrating, watching the Christmas tree go up, and they're talking about Meghan and Harry, the royal family, how they're doing things that aren't good. I mean, so it's incredible. What's the message? So yeah, we all know the one message or one channel doesn't like this administration. So they talk all day long about they don't like this administration, the policies, and everything else. Another message from other news network is they think this administration is doing a great job. Everything's great and everything's fine. And then another news network is just kind of like everywhere, and I call it the Chinese news network. Yeah, I wonder which network that is. The Chinese news network. Yeah, I figured that one out yet. Sure, anybody has. So what's the message? So for us today, even for me, I'm way off on my predictions. I mean, I'll raise my hand. I was the guy preaching a year ago that the fourth quarter of this year would be a disaster, because I truly felt once the government quit writing checks to everybody to appease the pandemic-related challenges, that eventually reality, the real economy, would come back, and the fake economy was just that, is a fake economy. And so the hardships would prevail from everybody, living in a fake economy. But yet, how wrong am I? I mean, I'm incredibly wrong. Even in my own backyard, I don't see a bunch of houses for sale. I travel around many places in the country, and the construction's through the roof. And I understand too that get a construction project going, it takes a lot of time. So somebody could have been working on a construction project 2 years ago that's just starting it now. So it isn't like you just go out and start digging and building properties overnight. So these are already things slated on the books. But at the same time, it seems like the houses that are being built, for the most part, are selling. I know, I hear the real estate market, they say this is down, that's down. But is it really back to the way it was? And that's why I've said I really need to take the time of one conversation in the morning. Is the fake economy the real economy? I mean, really. I mean, if you stop and kind of go back to reality to life, I think the economy is just really back the way it used to be. The fake economy was just so many numbers were so overinflated. So to base your business model on the fake economy, yeah, it's going to look like dire straits. But if you go back and base your business model pre-pandemic, you're going to be like, well, it's just like it used to be. All right, everybody. Busy day. I'm running out of time. Gotta wrap it up here. But once again, I just thought today would be the message. Once again, I just woke up this morning, and that's kind of how it plays out. Sometimes right before I go to bed, something pops in my head. Wake up in the morning, and it just once again, I just like to talk about ideas, and it's always cool that some of my subscribers kind of weigh in and they make comments. Like one of my subscribers is talking about the Tesla race yesterday. And yeah, I mean, what is it about the Tesla and the performance cars? I mean, if you watched my video yesterday, me coming back in and kind of later in the video, the second video of me, the Coyote Truck Day, you'll see me running a Tesla. And I was actually very impressed. I for the most part, took that Tesla. But then it gets at stupid, crazy speeds, and I shut it down. But I'm not embellishing to you. We were going down the road, and it was a 3-lane highway, and I was going to pass a guy, and he was going to go past. So he went to the right side of the tractor trailer. I was on the left, and I was way ahead of him, way ahead of that tractor trailer before I pretty much, it's like, nope, this gets crazy. And then he went by me. So that Coyote truck, which I'm amazed. Once again, the Teslas are very fast cars. So, yeah, who knows? But it seems at the higher speeds, what I've noticed, at the higher speeds in electric vehicles, it's very hard to get that same inertia. Off the line, the Tesla is just going to smoke you. But once you're going down the road, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, and you get in these electric cars, it's not like the same type of instantaneous torque and inertia. So I think that's why I kind of got them. It's just fun, but it's just all about having fun. That's all it is. It doesn't mean, calling out anybody who drives a Tesla. It's just me sharing my fun time with my ICE vehicle. And what's so weird is this Tesla person was very happy and content for what they were doing, and they weren't even going very fast. But once it went by in my truck, I goosed it next to him, and that's what started it. So I went by him, and I went boom, boom, and then all of a sudden, this guy's like, "Oh, okay, we got a guy in his hot rod truck. Yeah, we'll go show him who the boss is. Yeah, I'm the boss." And then that's where all the fun kind of started, which it was. It was fun. It was good. But I just know from driving the road every day of my life, kind of the characteristics of people that tend to kind of get caught up and want to start changing the pace of driving. So anyways, tomorrow the big day? Tomorrow may be the big day. What's it going to be? What happens? I don't know. Man, jeez. What happened to that black truck? Where's the black truck? Wow. Did I sell it? What happened to the black Ram? 4-door, used 2015 truck I bought in the spur of the moment like 2 months ago. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, you can't keep track. You can't keep track of my inventory. That's the reality. I need to have, take a monthly inventory of all my fleet, right? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate the support and the fun. I got great subscribers. They're fun to interact with. It really is. I get a kick out of it. And one gentleman yesterday sent a tire, a motorcycle, if you get a flat tire on a motorcycle, that was such great information. Even I learned from it. And I mean, that's great stuff. I mean, that's what I like about YouTube is you can learn stuff. You really can. And, so what's the message, right? What's the message of today? I don't know what the heck was it, right? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more adventures and ideas and conversations. And what am I doing next with the Indian? Now I'm up to, right? Have a great day. Stay safe.